all I ever wanted was financial freedom. I didn't really know what that looked like. I was born into a very loving family, but we were dirt poor. I am nervous as a cat. So, thank you. I'll take you back to 2.5 years ago, where my husband had worked very, very hard to build an extremely successful, what we thought was a multi-million-dollar business. And unfortunately, one day, we had a horrendous work comp claim that literally forced us out of business overnight. We barely sold it for $67,000, and we were flat broke. Just when you think that things cannot get any worse, we robbed Peter to pay Paul, and it was a decision. Do you pay the electric bill or do you pay your auto insurance on the $100,000 Mercedes-Benz, right? And I paid the insurance, the electric bill, to keep the lights on for our children. And the next day I reached for my cell phone and hit a tree head on and wound up DOA at the hospital. So, miraculously, while on morphine, I didn't have to think, but I did spend a few months on 14 Vicodin a day, and I was forced back into corporate America because we just could not make ends meet. We were jam-packed, stacked with debt, and nowhere out. And then I was introduced just a few short months later to Ameriplan, and I did not have two nickels to rub together, but I was committed to being here 2 years ago at this event, and I sat right back there, and I see you folks back there. And I can tell you, Tracy Jarvis said something that year to me. I know she was speaking directly to me. She said, where there's hope, there is salvation. And even though you want to quit, if you do not give up, then it will be okay. And so I left here as a senior regional sales director with 4 people on my team, and I worked the business part-time, and in 6 months achieved national sales director because of a team. But the debt was so much. It was almost killing us with the stress. So we were forced into a $1.2 million bankruptcy, and our house was in foreclosure. And I lived a life with my husband. We were so humiliated and embarrassed, and we lived in a quiet desperation. And people would say, how's it going in your business? And I would say, absolutely great. And I would pray. I left on sheer faith because of the stories that I heard here of hope and courage. I believed that someday it would happen for me, and I didn't care how. My sister would say, God gives you only what you can handle and, what he can trust you with. I said, well, I sure wish he quit trusting me so much. I told no one except one person on my team, and I confided in her, and I was worried that if I told her anything more, that I might push her out of the business. But miraculously, what Mark Jarvis talks about is when you can get absolutely in complete authenticity with your team, amazing things will happen. And so I shared my story, a little smidgen. This is the first time I've told it. So a smidgen of it with them. And the bonding that happened, there was an unshakable, unwavering commitment to this business. And they reminded me of the checks that they got. And they reminded me of their stories at Ameriplan when I second-guessed myself. When we ate mashed potatoes 3 times a day, we would make shapes out of them, it was like, today it's spiders. I'd let them pick like it was fun, It was horrible. $20 a week for Costco, macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes. I was amazed, a family of 4 for $20 a week. And, what happened over that time was that with a bankruptcy, the court seized our assets. And our attorney said, if you make any more money, your bankruptcy will not be approved and you will lose your home. So I could only write one piece of business a month for over a year, the entire year of 2004. But what happened was, as a team, see, Dennis and Daniel have this vision that it works, even if life circumstances get in the way. and my team grew, and my income grew all the way through President's Club, all through that despair. And one day on the 17th, we got a knock on our front door. And it was an investor, and he wanted to buy our house because our house was being sold on the courthouse steps on the 20th. And I was so embarrassed as a national sales director to be going through that. And on the 18th, like Ameriplan always does, the check went in our bank account, and on the 19th, we took it and got a cashier's check, and we got it to the lender on the 20th. And that happened for months last year. But because of that, my home that my children were born in did not go into foreclosure. You know, in closing, I just want you to know that, you know, Mark and Tracy speak about the relationships that you will develop through your team and with other people are amazing. And it is like a family. And that, you know, I don't know what brought you here today and this weekend, but all I know is that please, whatever it takes, find the belief and the conviction, or leave in sheer faith that this company will pay, because my family is living proof. Thanks.